This is the murder of Aaliyah Newell. Aaliyah Newell, 47, was a Chicago native. Aaliyah was smart and energetic and known within the circle of her friends as the life of the party. One of her friends stated, "Whenever you saw her, you were happy, and even if you weren't happy, she made you happy because she was happy." Aaliyah was a member of the sorority group Alpha Kappa Alpha and took pride in her sisterhood. A lifetime friend as a sorority sister. They were her support system that stuck by her through thick and thin. Besides being a continuous loyal member to her sorority sister, Aaliyah also worked as an HR recruiter and an online professor. Aaliyah was ambitious and always set high goals and standards for herself. On Wednesday, March 23, 2022, just before 7 p.m., inside her home on the city's south side, Aaliyah was found beaten to death. According to officers, she suffered blunt force trauma to the head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Concern was brought to the police about Aaliyah when no one had saw and heard from her in a few days, which was unusual. Friends told police officers that days before they had went out and she told them that she was going on a date with someone that she just met. Aaliyah did not give much information about the person that she was going on a date with, and friend did not know the said person to any great length. That's what Aaliyah had spoken about them. Friends of Aaliyah was shocked by her death. She was such a wonderful person and did not know how she could meet such an untimely end. My first thought was, this can't be real. Brandy Garris, Aaliyah's friend and sorority sister, stated, "She was a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I hate to think what her last moments were like." For days and months after Aaliyah's death, police officers in Chicago tried their best to follow Aaliyah's footsteps in her final days to find someone that was connected to her murder or might know what happened to her, but they always came up empty. There wasn't a witness that came forward to say that they saw someone going in or exiting Aaliyah's apartment in Chicago, where her body was found badly beaten. If there was any phone records of any sort, it did not lead police to anyone that was connected to Aaliyah's murder. There was no pictures found in Aaliyah's apartment or a friend or a family member that would be able to identify the person that she stated that she was going on a date with. Frankly, this is also common in the dating world in which we live today. But especially in Chicago, there's so many black women and girls that are coming up missing in record numbers. And sadly, Aaliyah is no exception. Aaliyah's mother, Cynthia Newell, wanted people to come together to remember her daughter's life, but something needs to be done in the city to prevent this kind of violence, she stated. "We have to stop just talking about it. Somebody got to fix it. I'm not sure what to tell the city to do, but they need to fix it." A week before her death, Aaliyah was making plans to spend a wonderful weekend with her sorority sisters that never came to be. Her sorority sisters was a great part of her life, as stated before. She would do the sorority sisters dance as she entered into a room. She was always wearing a glimpse of their colors, which is pink and green, that represent their core beliefs and values. On the Friday following her death, friends and family and sorority sisters gathered for a candlelight vigil in honor of Aaliyah. Clad in hues of their Greek colors, dozens of members of the National Pan-Hellenic Council of Chicago, the umbrella group of the 9 historical Black Greek lettered organization, raised burning candles as they share stories about Aaliyah. Deborah McClinney, Aaliyah's line sister in Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, stated that she was just a person that was always bubbly. "We don't know how to move through this." Roderick Sawyer, who is in charge of the district in which Aaliyah Newell was killed, stated, "My heart goes out to her family. We want to make sure we find the people that are responsible for her death. To be beaten so badly in your own home is indeed horrific and scary. And the fact that There is no eyewitness. There's no one that saw anything unusual. There's no one to point out anyone's height, their characteristic of how they look, and bring it forward to the public so that your killer may be brought to justice is even scarier. It's as if someone came out of nowhere and just beat this woman senselessly to her death and then disappear in thin air. There is definitely something scary and monstrous that's going on in the Chicago area. Why so many black women and young girls are getting murdered at such a rapid pace and disappearing with no one ever seeing any sight of them ever again. In this day and age where there's so many access to social media and everyone have a phone with a camera on it, it's just hard to believe that no one would see this woman out anywhere with the supposedly date that she had that could come forward and say, hey, I saw her here, she was wearing such and such, she left with such and such, so that the police would have at least some kind of clue as to which direction to go in. This case leaves me scratching my head because it's so bizarre, to just walk into this woman's house and see her beaten and bludgeoned to death. And I don't know if the police doesn't want to release it yet, or that there's no fingerprint, no evidence of any sort to lead them in any kind of direction. It is very sad and so tragic to such a well-loved and cared for woman that was giving back so much to society through being a professor, an educator, and also giving people jobs through her HR position. My prayers and condolences goes out to Aaliyah Newell family. May they find some kind of peace knowing that they at least had the chance to lay her to rest. May Aaliyah rest in peace and light forever shine upon her soul. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.